Ethan loved mornings. The city was quiet, the sunlight soft through the tall windows of his apartment. His routine was simple: shower, coffee, check the news, and prepare for the day. He enjoyed the predictability, the calm before the chaos of work. Today, though, something unusual was about to break that routine. He stepped into the shower, the warm water running down his shoulders, and let himself relax. For a moment, the city felt far away, like it belonged to someone else. Then in a flash, the bathroom was filled with light. Ethan blinked, unsure if it was the sun reflecting off the tiles or something else entirely. Before he could react, a figure appeared. She was standing there, mid-shower, as if she had always belonged there. Ethan's heart raced. She was tall and slender, with skin that seemed to shimmer, faintly glowing in the bathroom's soft light. Her hair floated around her as if underwater, and her eyes, large, bright, and impossible, studied him calmly, with curiosity rather than fear. Ethan froze. He had no idea what to say, what to do. Who are you?" he stammered. The woman tilted her head slightly. Then, in a voice that was not spoken but felt like it was inside his mind, she said, "I am Lyra. I am safe here for now." Ethan blinked. Telepathy? How is that possible? And how did she even get here? His mind raced, but he forced himself to take a step back. Safe from what? Lyra's eyes softened. She looked around the bathroom, then back at him. From danger. I had no choice. I had to come here. Ethan's heart pounded. His apartment had security, cameras, alarms. How would someone know something teleported inside? It was impossible. Yet here she was, standing calmly under the shower steam, perfectly balanced and unafraid. He ran a hand through his hair and tried to steady himself. Okay. You're not going to hurt me." Lyra's lips curved slightly. "I have no reason to harm you. You are interesting." Interesting? Ethan laughed nervously. "I guess that's one way to put it." He gestured to the towel rack. Maybe you should sit or stand somewhere else." She nodded slightly, her glowing eyes scanning the room. Then, as if sensing his discomfort, she vanished in another soft flash of light and reappeared by the window, outside the shower's direct spray. Ethan exhaled shakily. I need to understand this," he said. "How did you get here? And why?" Lyra looked at him, her expression unreadable. "I am being followed. My people, my world. They would not keep me safe. I came to the nearest secure location. I scanned for protection and found you." Ethan frowned. You scanned me?" "Yes, I can understand beings and places instantly. Your mind, your body, your patterns, you are suitable." Ethan's eyebrows rose. Suitable? He didn't know whether to be proud or scared. Suitable for what? Lyra paused, as if considering how much to reveal. For safety. For now. Her eyes softened slightly, though the light within them still flickered like stars. The shower ran between them in awkward silence. Ethan tried to think. He could call someone, the authorities, the police, maybe even the government. But what could he say? "Hi, an alien just appeared in my bathroom." That sounded insane even to him. Instead, he did the only thing he could think of. He wrapped a towel around himself and sat on the edge of the bathtub. "Okay, safe for now." "Got it, but I don't even know your world, your people. Why come to me?" Lyra's gaze softened further. "Your world is simple, stable. It is a place where I can think. Your species. You have traits others do not. Resilience, creativity, adaptability. I needed that." Ethan blinked. "Resilience? Creativity? You're complimenting me. Humans are remarkable," Lyra said softly. "Even in simplicity, you have strength." He laughed nervously again. "Well, thanks." "I think." There was a pause. The water ran. Steam curled in the small bathroom. Ethan tried to process everything. This was not something you saw every day. An alien being, capable of teleportation inside his apartment, complementing humanity. His life had been quiet, predictable, mundane. And now everything had changed. "Okay," Ethan said finally. "Let's get practical. You're here. You're safe. But what next?" Lyra studied him, tilting her head. "Next ways we observe. We learn. You will help me." "I will?" Ethan asked, incredulous. "Yes," she replied simply. "You will help me understand your world, your people. I cannot leave yet." Ethan ran a hand down his face. I don't even know how to help you. I'm just me." "You're enough," Lyra said. And somehow her voice, her mind, carried a certainty that made him believe it. For the next hour, they talked. Ethan asked questions about her home, her abilities. Lyra asked about humanity, technology, culture, the mundane things that mattered most. He realized that she was not just curious. She was learning at a pace that amazed him. She could analyze, process, and understand in seconds what took humans hours. And yet she respected his perspective, asked for his input, treated him as an equal, not a subject. Ethan found himself relaxing, despite the strangeness. She was remarkable, yes, but also human in ways he could relate to. She laughed when he made a joke about coffee, tilted her head in amusement when he explained simple human routines, and marveled at the small things. Sunlight through the blinds, the warmth of the shower water, the smell of shampoo. By mid-morning, Ethan had made a decision. He would help her. Not because he fully understood her, but because she needed him, and he had the power to give her that small measure of safety, and maybe, just maybe, he wanted to see more of the universe through her eyes. "You will stay here, for now?" Ethan asked. Lyra nodded. "Yes, for now. Until the danger passes." Ethan looked around the bathroom again at the normal tiles, the mundane towels, the simple showerhead. And yet in the center of all this normalcy stood a being from the stars, glowing and curious. His life had changed in one impossible moment, and he knew it. He smiled faintly. "Well, I guess mornings will never be boring again." Lyra's eyes glimmered. No, they will not. The water continued to run, but neither of them moved. There was a quiet understanding between them. Ethan would provide her a place to hide. Lyra would share her knowledge, her presence, her perspective. And together they would face whatever came next. Outside the apartment, the city continued unaware. Life went on, but inside that small bathroom, something extraordinary had begun. Something that would challenge Ethan's understanding of the universe, of humanity, and of courage. By the time the water turned cold and the sun fully rose, Ethan had accepted a new reality. The universe was vast. Humans were small, but humans were capable. And maybe, just maybe, a human could matter to a star-faring alien in ways no one else could. And so, with the day ahead, Ethan and Lyra began their unusual partnership. One of survival, curiosity, and quiet wonder. A partnership that would soon test both the limits of humanity and the boundless reach of the stars. Ethan had barely finished breakfast when he realized that living with Lyra would be unlike anything he had ever imagined. The apartment felt smaller now, yet larger in ways he could not fully explain. Every corner seemed alive with her presence, and even ordinary objects like his coffee mug, the couch, and the bookshelves seemed new under her quiet, glowing gaze. Lyra sat on the edge of the couch, legs crossed, eyes softly glowing as she scanned the room. She had moved effortlessly, her body light and precise. "Your space is adequate," she said. "It is simple yet organized. Humans value stability here." Ethan laughed nervously. "Thanks, I guess. I just keep things where I can reach them. Not exactly advanced architecture, you know." She tilted her head slightly. "Advanced? It is not necessary to impress me. I only need understanding." Understanding. That word lingered in Ethan's mind as he poured coffee into his mug. He had never thought of himself as important, but somehow his presence mattered to her. He didn't fully understand why or how, but he wanted to live up to it. Over the next few hours, Ethan attempted to teach Lyra the small routines of human life. How to make coffee, how to use the microwave, even how to turn on the television. Lyra watched him closely, her eyes flicking with glowing lines that seemed almost like scanning light. Within moments, she mastered each task. "I understand efficiency," she said. "You humans waste minimal energy in daily tasks. Fascinating." Ethan grinned. "Well, I guess that's one thing we do right." As she explored, Lyra asked questions, not about gadgets or tools, but about humanity itself. Why humans laughed when things were awkward, why they worried over minor mistakes, why they sometimes acted against their own survival instinct for others. Ethan answered as best as he could. Each answer felt like a story, a small window into humanity. And each answer seemed to impress Lyra, her glowing eyes widening with every insight. "You are remarkable," she said suddenly, her tone quiet. "Even in small moments you show traits others in the universe lack. Creativity, empathy, courage in subtle ways." Ethan felt a warmth he could not explain. "Thanks, I guess we don't usually hear that from aliens." Lyra's gaze softened. "Few of us notice. We often assume you are weak. Yet you are resilient. The conversation was interrupted by a subtle vibration in the apartment. Ethan's heart skipped a beat. He had set up security sensors weeks ago, but he hadn't expected anything like this. They are close, Lyra said instantly, her eyes glowing brighter. They are tracking me. Ethan froze. They? Who is they? Those who pursue me, she replied simply. They will not stop. I cannot remain stationary for long or they will find me. Ethan's mind raced. Okay, so what do we do? Lyra rose gracefully. We prepare. You will need to learn quickly, adapt, protect. Protect me? I don't know how to. You will learn, Lyra interrupted softly. Humans can adapt. I have seen your potential. We will begin now. Over the next several hours, Lyra taught Ethan basic self-defense techniques. She was gentle but precise, correcting his stance, his breathing, and his timing. She demonstrated minor telekinetic abilities, moving small objects with a thought, to help him understand leverage and control. Ethan struggled at first, fumbling and tripping over his own hands and feet. But Lyra never expressed impatience. She only encouraged. You must focus, she said, not with your mind alone, but with your body. Feel the energy around you. Humans often ignore this, yet you are capable. By mid-afternoon, Ethan was exhausted but determined. He could already feel small improvements, the way he moved, the way he balanced, the way he reacted to sudden motion. He could feel that even humans, slow and fragile compared to starfaring aliens, had a hidden strength. Lyra observed him with faint approval. You are progressing faster than expected. You are human yet capable of great skill. Ethan smiled weakly. Thanks, that actually means a lot. Before they could rest, a sudden alert flashed on one of Ethan's small security monitors. A figure, indistinct but moving quickly, approached the building. Ethan froze. That can't be a normal person, right? Lyra's glow intensified. They are scouts. They sense my presence. We must act now. Ethan's heart raced. Act how? I'm not ready. You are ready enough, she said firmly. Trust yourself. Trust me. In a flash of light, Lyra teleported both of them out of the apartment and into a nearby park. The air was fresh and the city below hummed quietly. Ethan's pulse raced as he realized they were completely exposed. They can track you? He asked, breathless. Yes, she said. But humans can adapt. You will hide, observe, and learn. A small drone-like figure appeared, scanning the park with faint blue light. Ethan froze. Move, Lyra instructed calmly. Follow my lead. She demonstrated her teleportation, vanishing from one spot and reappearing behind a tree. Ethan followed hesitantly, stumbling but managing to stay close. Every time the drone scanned, Lyra moved with him, teaching him how to anticipate detection, how to use shadows, how to blend into the environment. Ethan realized that humans could be clever in ways alien technology did not always anticipate. They used improvisation, instinct, and ingenuity. With Lyra's guidance, he felt a strange confidence building inside him, a mix of fear and determination. After the drone passed, Lyra paused. You did well. You learned quickly. It may surpass what I expected. Ethan laughed nervously, wiping sweat from his forehead. I hope I don't embarrass myself when the real danger shows up. Lyra studied him carefully. You will not embarrass yourself. Humans have hidden strength. I underestimated this in the past. You are living proof. They returned to the apartment under cover of the evening. Ethan was exhausted but exhilarated. He realized that humans could be underestimated. Yes, but even the smallest person, given guidance and courage, could matter in ways the universe did not expect. As they settled back inside, Lyra moved to the window, scanning the horizon. They will not give up easily. But you are ready to continue. Tomorrow we train further. You will learn to trust your instincts and your abilities. Ethan nodded, still catching his breath. I don't know what I expected today, but I feel alive, like I'm part of something bigger. Lyra smiled faintly. You are. You always were. Sometimes humans forget, but you are capable of extraordinary things even without knowing it. The night passed quietly. Ethan couldn't sleep, thinking of everything he had learned, the dangers they had faced, and the strange, glowing alien beside him. He realized that his life had changed completely. The universe was no longer distant and abstract. It had arrived in his bathroom, and now it would never leave. In that quiet moment, Ethan understood something essential. Humans could matter in ways that even starfaring civilizations might overlook. Courage, creativity, and quick thinking were more powerful than technology alone, and perhaps, just perhaps, he could show Lyra the true value of humanity. Not through strength or weapons, but through heart, ingenuity, and resilience. When dawn broke, Ethan found himself standing next to Lyra by the window, watching the city wake. The sky was a soft shade of pink reflecting off the buildings. "You are ready for the next step," Lyra said softly. Ethan looked at her, unsure, but resolute. "Then let's do it. Whatever comes next, we'll face it together." Lyra's glow dimmed slightly, a sign of approval in her alien physiology. "Together," she agreed. And so the human and the alien prepared for the challenges ahead, knowing that survival was only the beginning. Their bond had deepened, forged through trust, curiosity, and the realization that even a human, when guided and inspired, could stand among the stars. The adventure was just beginning. The next morning, the city was calm, almost peaceful. But Ethan knew better now. Calm was only temporary. Danger had a way of finding Lyra, and soon he realized it would find him too. He and Lyra had spent the night planning, reviewing what she had taught him about stealth, observation, and defense. Ethan had been surprised at his own progress. He moved more carefully now, noticed small details, and even anticipated Lyra's telekinetic movements. For the first time, he felt a spark of confidence. "They will come," Lyra said softly, her glowing eyes scanning the city from the apartment window. "Sooner or later, they always do." Ethan nodded, gripping the railing of the balcony. "I'm ready. And I will be. I'll try my best. That is enough," she replied. "You already possess what is required. Courage, ingenuity, and adaptability." Ethan smiled faintly, though his stomach twisted with nerves. Courage and adaptability sounded good in theory. Facing alien pursuers in reality was another matter entirely. By mid-morning, the first warning appeared. A flicker of energy, a shimmer in the sky above the city. Ethan froze and Lyra's eyes narrowed. "They are here," she said. "Follow me. Do exactly as I say." Before Ethan could respond, Lyra teleported them to the top of a nearby building. The wind whipped around them, carrying the sounds of the city below. In the distance, shadowy figures hovered, scanning the area with faint, glowing orbs of light. Ethan's pulse raced. "They can see through normal sight," Lyra explained, "but they underestimate humans. Quick thinking and improvisation will help." Ethan swallowed hard. Improvisation. That was all he had, and for some reason he felt a strange surge of determination. Humans might be small, slow, and fragile, but they had something no alien could calculate. Unpredictability. Lyra gestured to a narrow ledge. "Move, quietly, observe." Ethan followed, every step careful. The wind threatened to throw him off balance, but he remembered Lyra's lessons on focus and energy. He moved like a shadow close to the wall, keeping himself hidden. The pursuers were scanning systematically, their technology advanced and precise. Ethan realized that if he relied only on speed, they would catch him instantly. He had to think differently, Lyra whispered. "Use your surroundings. Think creatively. Humans excel at this." Ethan nodded. He glanced around. Rooftops, antennas, vents. If he could distract them, mislead them, perhaps they could pass without detection. Spotting a loose antenna, he grabbed it and threw it across a neighboring rooftop. The clatter echoed. One of the drones shifted, its glowing eyes scanning toward the noise. "Yes," Lyra whispered. "Now move." Ethan darted behind a stack of crates, barely avoiding a sweep of the drone's light. He could feel his heart pounding, but he kept his focus. He realized something important. Humans might not have advanced technology, but they had creativity and quick thinking. And right now that might be enough. Lyra led him through the city, teleporting short distances, teaching him how to anticipate movement and read energy patterns. Ethan stumbled occasionally, but each mistake was a lesson. He began to understand timing, spacing, and subtle body control, things aliens might not expect from humans. Finally, they reached a narrow alley, far from the drone's direct path. Ethan paused, breathing heavily. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm really hiding from aliens," Lyra smiled faintly. "You are doing more than hiding. You are learning. You are growing." Ethan chuckled nervously. "I hope the growing part doesn't involve getting fried by lasers." "Perhaps," Lyra said, her tone amused, though her eyes stayed sharp. "But you will adapt. They waited in the alley, watching the drones pass by overhead. Ethan marveled at how Lyra moved. Graceful, precise, always aware. And yet she paused to observe him, watching his reactions, correcting his stance, whispering guidance. "You are improving," she said. "Your instincts, they are developing. Humans have potential. I underestimated this." Ethan smiled, a mix of pride and exhaustion. "Thanks, I think. But this is just practice, right? I mean, the real danger will come soon." Lyra's expression darkened slightly. "Yes, soon they will not be scouts. They will come directly. Then your ingenuity and courage will be tested fully." Ethan nodded. Somehow the thought was thrilling. He had faced fear, uncertainty, and impossible odds, and he had survived. Maybe humans were stronger than they realized. As if on cue, a ripple of energy passed through the alley. Ethan's heart leapt. The real pursuers had arrived. Massive figures taller than any human, with sleek dark armor and glowing visors, stepped into view. Their presence radiated power and precision. "They are not scouts," Lyra whispered. "Now it begins." Ethan's mind raced. He remembered the lessons she had given him. Observation, improvisation, trust. He scanned the surroundings. Broken crates, loose debris, a fire escape ladder. He could use them, and he could think ahead. Lyra gestured, indicating a path along the side of the building. "Move with me, distract, confuse, survive." Ethan swallowed his fear and followed. The alien pursuers advanced methodically, scanning every corner. Ethan tossed debris in their path, causing them to pause, shift, and recalculate. Lyra teleported short distances, guiding him, keeping him alive. "You are doing well," she whispered. "Your mind, it is quick. This is human strength." Ethan grinned briefly, adrenaline surging. "I hope my kind keeps surprising the universe then." They reached a high platform above a parking lot. Ethan could see the pursuers below, coordinating. Lyra whispered instructions on movement, timing, and using the environment. Every decision mattered. A single mistake could end everything. Ethan began to notice something extraordinary. He could anticipate patterns, read the drone's movements, and react before they acted. Humans were unpredictable, and the pursuers were struggling to adapt. Lyra's training had unlocked something he hadn't realized was there: instinct, creativity, and courage working together. A final obstacle appeared, a drone scanning the platform directly in their path. Ethan froze. Lyra whispered quickly, "Distract. Now." He grabbed a loose metal pipe and hurled it across the platform. The drone shifted, its energy beam flashing harmlessly away. Ethan moved with precision, following Lyra's lead. Together they leapt to a hidden stairwell, escaping the immediate danger. Breathing heavily, Ethan looked at her. "We did it. We actually got past them." Lyra's glow softened, a sign of approval in her alien physiology. "You did not merely escape. You adapted, improvised, and survived. This is what humans can achieve when challenged." "You are remarkable," Ethan laughed nervously. "I guess humans can surprise even aliens, huh?" "Yes," Lyra said softly, "even me. You have taught me something today. That ingenuity, courage, and determination can rival technology. That humanity has strength I underestimated." For the first time, Ethan felt a deep sense of pride. He had faced impossible odds and survived. He had learned from an alien far beyond his understanding, yet his own instincts, creativity, and courage had mattered. As they returned to the apartment, the city below seemed calm again. But Ethan knew better. Danger would return. The universe was vast, and Lyra's pursuers would not give up easily. Yet, as he settled back in, exhausted but alive, he realized something important. Humans were underestimated, yes, but they had something no technology could replace: heart, ingenuity, and the will to survive. And that would matter more than anyone expected. Lyra studied him for a long moment. "You are ready," she said softly. "Not because you are perfect, but because you are human. You think, you adapt, you act. These traits, they are powerful." Ethan smiled faintly. "Thanks, I think I understand now. Being human isn't a weakness. It's something else, something strong." Lyra nodded. "Exactly. And together we will face whatever comes next." That night, Ethan lay awake thinking of the day's events. Fear had been constant, adrenaline rushing, yet he had survived. He had learned, adapted, and grown. Humans could face incredible odds, and with guidance they could exceed expectations. Lyra rested beside him, her presence calm, glowing faintly in the dim light. Ethan realized something else too. Trust had formed between them, not just in survival but in partnership, understanding, and mutual respect. Tomorrow, he knew, the universe would test them again. But he was ready. Humans might be small, fragile, and overlooked, but they had resilience, creativity, and courage that no alien could easily predict. And with Lyra by his side, Ethan felt capable of facing anything. The city outside continued in its usual rhythm, unaware of the extraordinary events unfolding above. But inside that apartment, a human and an alien had learned something vital. Survival was only the beginning. Together they could face the stars. The morning sunlight filtered through the blinds, casting soft stripes across the apartment floor. Ethan sat at the small table sipping coffee, trying to calm the tension that had built overnight. Lyra stood near the window, glowing faintly, scanning the city below. There was a sense of calm, but Ethan knew it was temporary. The final confrontation was coming. "They are returning," Lyra said quietly, her voice steady, almost serene. "This time they will not be subtle." Ethan's heart raced. "Then we face them head-on?" Lyra shook her head. "No, we use strategy. Their technology is strong, but humans have something they cannot predict. Creativity, unpredictability, determination." Ethan nodded, a mix of nerves and excitement surging through him. He had learned a lot in the past days, how to anticipate, improvise, and adapt, but nothing compared to what was about to happen. By late morning, the sky darkened with unusual streaks of energy. Ethan's security monitors picked up multiple signals. Alien ships, larger and more imposing than before, hovered above the city. The hum of advanced machinery filled the air, vibrating through the walls. "They have come for her," Ethan muttered, gripping the edge of the table. Lyra placed a hand on his shoulder, her touch warm despite the faint glow of her skin. "And they will not find her. Not with you." Ethan blinked. "Me, really?" "You have proven yourself," she said softly. "You are human, yet capable of extraordinary action. Today, we see the truth of that." With a flash of light, they teleported to a nearby rooftop. The city stretched below them, oblivious to the drama above. Ethan felt the wind whip through his hair, the adrenaline building as he surveyed the approaching threat. The alien ships hovered, scanning, ready to strike. Lyra whispered, "Observe first, react second. Creativity is your weapon." Ethan scanned the area. Rooftops, signs, cables, ledges, everything could be used. The alien ships moved with precision, their sensors sweeping the city. But Ethan realized something vital. They expected only straightforward action, direct threats. "No human would think like this. We need a distraction," Ethan muttered, "something big enough to pull them off course." Lyra's eyes glimmered. "Go ahead. I trust your judgment." Ethan grabbed a large metal vent cover and threw it across a distant rooftop. The clatter echoed, bouncing off walls, drawing the attention of one of the drones. Another drone followed, and then another. "They are responding," Lyra whispered, her glow intensifying. "Now, move with me." They teleported short distances from building to building, using shadows and obstacles to stay hidden. Ethan's heart pounded, but he followed Lyra's guidance, improvising and anticipating as they moved. Suddenly, one of the alien ships hovered directly above their position. A scanning beam swept the rooftop. Ethan froze. Lyra whispered, "Trust yourself. Trust the pattern." He noticed the timing of the beam, its rhythm, and realized that with careful movement they could slip past. He adjusted his steps, moving just as the beam passed, and held his breath as it moved on. "You did well," Lyra said softly. "Your instincts are improving rapidly." Ethan allowed himself a brief smile. "Humans adapt fast when we have to. That's kind of our thing." The alien pursuers advanced, their ships and drones coordinated. Ethan realized they needed more than stealth. They needed a plan to truly outsmart them. "Follow me," Lyra said. They teleported to the top of a skyscraper near the city center. Ethan's mind raced. Below, the streets were packed with vehicles and people, though oblivious to the danger. Above, the alien ship scanned, searching for energy signals for Lyra herself. Ethan's eyes fell on the cityscape, construction cranes, cables, billboards. Inspiration struck. "We can use them," he exclaimed. Lyra tilted her head. "Explain. We can create a trap, force them to miscalculate. Their sensors will be thrown off by movement, lights, unpredictability. Humans can make it happen." Lyra's eyes glowed brighter. "Do it now!" Ethan ran to a crane, climbing quickly, checking its cables and pulleys. He and Lyra worked together, using her teleportation and his human ingenuity. They arranged hanging tarps, loose metal beams, and reflective surfaces. The goal, to confuse the sensors, make the drones misinterpret the environment and buy them time. As the alien ships closed in, Ethan took a deep breath. Now, he triggered the trap. Tarps fell, swinging wildly. Metal beams clattered, creating shadows and reflections. The drone's sensors flickered, recalculating constantly, unable to focus on their target. Lyra whispered, "Excellent. Keep moving." They teleported across rooftops, using the chaos to stay ahead. Ethan realized the truth. Humans might not have the raw power of alien technology, but they had ingenuity, the ability to think outside predictable patterns. That was something the aliens could not fully anticipate. One ship descended, trying to corner them. Ethan scanned the area and spotted an unfinished building with scaffolding. "Through there!" he shouted. They jumped, using the scaffolding to navigate a maze of shadows and metal. The ship followed, but the traps delayed it, buying precious seconds. Lyra moved beside him, telekinetically adjusting obstacles in their path. Together, they led the pursuers on a complex chase, testing both strategy and instinct. Finally, they reached an abandoned warehouse at the edge of the city. Ethan's lungs burned, his muscles ached, but he felt alive. Lyra glanced at him, her eyes glowing softly. "You have done more than survive," she said. "You have adapted. You have used your human traits, creativity, courage, unpredictability, to outsmart superior technology." "You are remarkable." Ethan laughed, exhausted but thrilled. "I guess humans can surprise anyone, huh?" "Yes," Lyra replied. "Even me. Today I have learned something important. Human strength is not just physical. It is ingenuity, determination, and courage. And these qualities, they are extraordinary." The alien ships hovered in the distance, scanning, but for the first time Ethan realized they were cautious. They had underestimated humans. The city itself, the environment, and the human mind had created obstacles even advanced technology could not fully predict. Lyra turned to him. "You have proven yourself. I will stay here. Earth is safe for now because of you." Ethan blinked. "Stay, you mean? Not go back to your world?" Lyra nodded. "For now. The universe is vast and there is much to learn here. Humans, you are worth studying, and I wish to remain alongside you." Ethan felt a strange warmth. The being who had teleported into his shower, who had seemed so alien and distant, was choosing to stay. Not because of fear, but because of trust, admiration, and understanding. "You really mean that?" he asked. Lyra's glow softened. "Yes, I have seen courage, ingenuity, and heart. I have seen potential. I wish to remain with you, learning and observing. Earth, your humanity, it matters." Ethan smiled, a mixture of relief and pride. "Then welcome to my world. I guess mornings won't be boring anymore." Lyra's eyes sparkled faintly, a sign of amusement. "Indeed, they will not." Over the next few days, Ethan and Lyra settled into a new routine. They continued training, exploring, and learning from one another. She taught him advanced techniques, subtle manipulations of energy and movement, while he taught her about human habits, humor, and creativity. Ethan realized something profound. Humans were not weak. They were underestimated, yes, but they possessed qualities no alien could replicate: heart, ingenuity, courage, and determination. And together, human and alien could face challenges no one had imagined. Lyra's presence became a source of wonder and inspiration. She marveled at human art, music, and simple daily rituals. Ethan saw the universe in a new way, realizing that humans were capable of greatness not only through technology, but through mind, spirit, and heart. One evening, as the city lights glimmered below, Ethan and Lyra stood on the balcony watching the sky. The alien ships were gone for now and the city was calm. "I never thought I'd see this," Ethan said softly. "An alien choosing to stay. With me." Lyra smiled faintly. "I never thought I would learn so much from a human. But you have shown me courage, ingenuity, and heart. These are qualities that matter across the stars." "Humans, you are extraordinary," Ethan chuckled. "Guess we humans really can surprise the universe." "Yes," Lyra said. "Even me." And so life continued. Danger would return one day, Ethan knew, but for now they had peace. Together they had faced impossible odds and survived. And together, they would explore the possibilities of human ingenuity, resilience, and courage, proving that even the smallest, most underestimated species could matter among the stars. The shower incident had seemed impossible at first, absurd even. Yet it had brought them together, setting the stage for an adventure that would test both human and alien strengths. Ethan realized that life was no longer ordinary. The universe had arrived and humanity had met it head-on. And in the quiet glow of dawn, standing beside Lyra, Ethan knew one thing for certain. Humans could be extraordinary, even to the stars themselves.